Pops. It seemed to me like maybe you were upset when he was training De La Hoya. Is that true, or you could care less? You was happy he had a job?
No, absolutely not. You know, it's crazy. The other day, I think, it's all about giving back to our people. Meaning, when I say our people, meaning other, meaning if you're Spanish, you black, giving back. So I was working with, I got a fighter, one of the best fighters out there today, Gervonta Tank Davis.
Right.
I got it when he was young. I put him in a position. Now he's 3-time world champion. And it's another little kid that came up in my gym, that grew up in my gym, Devin Haney. So he's with another promotional company, but he's still a young black kid that's trying to become the next Floyd Mayweather or surpass Floyd Mayweather. So with me giving him pointers, once again, you got the media, those other people saying, want me to bump heads with these young kids, and I'm not going to do that. There's no different from when my dad was training Oscar De La Hoya. I never cared. You know why? Because I know that my skills were second to none. If my dad was not with me and he still was able to get a check and make great money, I'm proud of my dad. And I'm not like that. I'm not one that's selfish. I'm not one that's jealous. If my dad is in a position to keep getting money, and he's one of the best trainers, if he's able to keep getting money, absolutely. I can't be jealous at Oscar De La Hoya when I know for a fact my pay-per-view numbers is the best out of any fighters in history. I've done the biggest numbers at the gates. We can go on and on. And it's not knocking Oscar, but by far, if you name any fighter from the past, at the present time, right now, no fighter has done what Floyd Mayweather has done.
Floyd Mayweather, fun fact, fun question. You can answer it.
Those are the words of Floyd Mayweather Jr. And he sets the record straight on him training Devin Haney versus Gervonta Tank Davis being in his promotional company and Devin Haney being on another promotional company. And he said that there wasn't any static. He wasn't getting into any beef with Haney and to Davis, even though these guys can be competitors one day. A lot of people might agree that it's a conflict of interest because he's training Devin Haney and he's promoting Gervonta Tank Davis. And Floyd says that it's the media, right? They, the others, that were trying to create static between Davis and Haney. And he compared himself with De La Hoya when his father trained De La Hoya, and De La Hoya wanted his father to train him to fight him, and his dad wouldn't do it, okay? We're going to start from the present, then we're going to go back in time. De La Hoya, or should I say, Devin Haney was happy to get the pointers from Floyd Mayweather. I mean, who wouldn't be? Andre Ward said he would be happy to get those pointers. He wished that Floyd would have helped him like he's getting help from, like Devin Haney's getting help. And he said that was the only static or the only problem that the others were creating this, where Gervonta Tank Davis was just crimson and clover. Well, I have to counterpunch that. I know media does things to create friction, and they like to build narratives like a lot of channels and networks do, for another whole different reason. But Gervonta Tank Davis was pissed off. Gervonta Tank Davis has been known to say things with subliminal messages, okay? And he didn't stop at that time. He had a lot to say about Floyd training Devin Haney. He had a lot to say about that. So the media didn't make that up. Okay? Gervonta Tank Davis felt a certain type of way about when he fought or when he seen Floyd Mayweather train Devin Haney. Okay? He didn't like that one bit. And matter of fact, that whole Ivan Redcash thing, that's repercussions in response to Floyd doing what he's doing. Again, a subliminal message. Why would you put a sparring session and film it and show it? Why would you do that? What goes on in sparring is supposed to stay in sparring, but yet Devin Haney, Gervonta Tank Davis, was the one that felt he needed to show people that he can beat up a welterweight, right? But he was doing that because Floyd Mayweather Jr. was doing something that he didn't like. And what he was doing, he was training Devin Haney, and Devin Haney is not with Mayweather Promotions, right? So Gervonta Tank Davis felt some type of way. Of course he did. You know what I mean? Even his distant friend Adrian Broner said, "Oh, I think it's BS what he's doing." You know what I mean? He shouldn't be doing that. And Gervonta Tank Davis, he talks a lot, but he knows when it comes to Floyd or Leonard Ellaby or any of those guys that he knows he works for, he can't say exactly what he wants to say. He can only say things and say it around things subliminally, right? So those subliminal messages he's throwing out, he does that because that's the only way he can get his point across. But he felt some type of way. The media didn't have anything to do with that. So I had to counterpunch that. Now, as far as Oscar De La Hoya with Floyd Sr., I don't remember really what went down with those guys. I know he didn't, around that same time, he got into it with his father. Because I know that was in 2007 when they fought. I think it was May 7th, 2007, right? And I remember when Floyd did that, Floyd Sr. was offered from Oscar De La Hoya to train him for his son. He wouldn't do that, but again, Floyd Sr. thought that Oscar De La Hoya won. So it's still a lot that could be said about that, and I know Floyd did that for a mind edge, so if he could get his father to train him, that would, that's damn near winning half the battle on the mental stage. So, I'm glad that, Floyd, came out and said something, but I disagree because it wasn't the media that did that. It was Gervonta Tank Davis that did that, through secret messages, through his Twitter, because he is undisputed when it comes to Twitter. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s comments. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys can Counterpunch. Peace.